Okay, we should be good guys in 3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to the 2017 LMS GOB. Oh, okay. All right. Welcome to the Landisville Middle School National Geographic B Final Competition. A huge round of applause for all participants and for those who reached today's final. Each year, the Nat GOB empowers millions of students to be informed, curious, and knowledgeable global citizens. Today, we will determine our school champion, and that student will have the opportunity to advance to the next level of the competition. The national champion wins a $50,000 scholarship from National Geographic and a prize trip. Before we begin, I would like to ask everyone in the room to turn off all electronic devices. The audience may not record the school bee in any form, and any activity that could be distracting to the contestants is not permitted. Today's competition will consist of a final round and a championship round. Final round questions will reduce the number of contestants to 2. These 2 finalists will then compete in the championship round. In the final round, a contestant is eliminated after answering 2 questions incorrectly. I will begin each series of questions with the same student. If this student has been eliminated, questioning will begin with the next available student. After each student on stage has responded to a question in a series, those who gave their second incorrect answer will be excused from the stage unless all are eliminated. If this happens, those students who gave their second incorrect answer during that series will continue to receive final round questions until 2 finalists and the 3rd place winner are determined. If only 1 student remains after a series of questions, that student automatically becomes one of the finalists and will be asked no more questions. Those students who gave their second incorrect answer during that series will continue to receive questions until the 2nd finalist and the 3rd place winner are determined. The procedures will change for the championship round. I will announce those procedures at that time. Other rules remain the same as those that were followed in the preliminary competition. As a reminder, you will have 15 seconds to answer, and you must start to give your answer before the time limit is up. You may interrupt the final competition only twice to have either a question repeated or a word spelled. Also, remember to listen carefully to each question and use correct geographic terminology in your answers. For example, do not use Holland as a synonym for the country Netherlands, and do not use England for the country United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as England is a political division. Give present-day names unless the question involves history, and other names would be correct in the context of the question. As the bee is conducted in English, wherever possible, conventional English place names are used. Shortened forms of country names are acceptable, such as United Kingdom, Great Britain, or Britain for United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. You will not be penalized for inaccurate pronunciations or spellings, so long as it can be determined that you know the correct answer. B questions follow the National Geographic Society's policy of recognizing Europe and Asia as 2 continents. Oceania is considered a region rather than a continent, and it will not be accepted as a correct answer for the continent of Australia. In addition, the National Geographic Society recognizes 4 oceans: the Arctic, Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific. All information was current at the time the B questions were finalized in September 2017. The rulings of the judge are final. Good luck. Let's introduce the contestants, starting here.
Jackson from the Pioneers.
Ryan, I'm on the Knights.
Liam from the Patriots.
Jocelyn from the Pioneers.
Liam from the Nobles.
Evan from the Pioneers.
Cecilia from the Patriots.
Jack from the Pioneers. Gunnar from the Pioneers.
Nick from the Patriots.
All righty. The first set of questions is about the United States and will require oral answers. Each of you will answer a different question, and you will have 15 seconds to give me your answer. I will begin to my left with Jackson, and we will move that way across the room. Question number 1. Trade winds often create clouds just below the summit of Haleakala crater in which state?
Time, we need an answer.
Oklahoma.
That's incorrect. The correct answer is Hawaii.
Can you turn your name tags a little bit so I can see each one? Just turn them a little bit to the side. That, perfect. Okay, Ryan. Delaware Bay separates the state of Delaware from which state to the northeast?
Pennsylvania.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is New Jersey.
Naheem. A densely populated region is located between the cities of Provo and Ogden in which state?
Tennessee.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Utah.
Chesley. The Catskill Mountains are bounded by the valleys of the Mohawk and Hudson Rivers in which state?
New York.
Correct.
Liam. Jackson Lake, located in Grand Teton National Park, is in what state?
New Mexico.
That's incorrect. The correct answer is Wyoming.
Evan. The Savannah River forms part of the border between Georgia and what other state?
Alabama.
Incorrect. South Carolina is the correct answer.
Really quick, would Angelina God please report to the office? Angelina God. Okay, moving on. Cecilia. Carson National Forest, with its ruins of adobe buildings, can be found near the Rio Grande and the city of Taos. In what state?
Arizona.
That's incorrect. It's New Mexico.
Jack. Petroleum refining was an important industry for the economic development of the city of Tulsa. In which state?
New Mexico.
Incorrect. The correct answer is Oklahoma.
Okay, Gunnar. Lake Champlain and the Green Mountains are popular recreation areas in what state that borders New York and Canada?
Vermont.
Correct.
Nick. Cumberland Gap, a mountain pass in the Appalachians, lies near the juncture of Kentucky, Tennessee, and what other state?
Virginia.
Correct.
All right. All of you will respond to the next question by writing an answer on the paper provided for you, or your boards. You will have 15 seconds to write your answer. When I call time, put down your markers and hold up your answers. When I call on you, please read your answer aloud. You will not be penalized for inaccurate pronunciations or spellings, so long as it can be determined that you knew the correct answer. I will give the correct answer after all answers have been given. Please keep your answers visible until the scorekeeper has recorded the scores. I will read this question twice so you may not ask for another repeat. Last August, a total solar eclipse that crossed the United States from west to east was first visible in which state that borders California? Last August, a total solar eclipse that crossed the United States from west to east was first visible in which state that borders California?
5 seconds. Time's up.
Okay, time. Please put your markers down. Hold your boards up. Keep your boards held up.
And hold them so we can see them,
Go ahead, Jackson, read your answer.
Washington State.
Ryan,
Nevada,
Naheem,
Washington.
Jocelyn,
Arizona.
Liam,
Oregon.
Evan,
Oregon.
Cecilia,
Oregon.
Jack,
Oregon.
Gunnar,
Oregon.
Nick.
Oregon.
We will pause for a moment while the scorekeeper records the scores.
At the end of round 2, the following people have missed 2 answers because Oregon was the correct score. So Jackson, Ryan, and Needham, that was your second miss. You did a great job. Thank you for playing.
Very good, thank you. You may be dismissed.
You can just get back to yours.
That means, Jocelyn, of course, you will take the first question at this point. You'll now be receiving a copy of a map. Okay, let us begin. The next set of final round questions involves a map that shows U.S. interstate highways. Each of you, in turn, will use the information on the map to answer your question. I will give all of you a moment now to look at your maps. When it is your turn, please look at your map while I read your question. You will have 15 seconds to answer. Okay, so please turn your maps over. Once you are called on for your question, then you may turn your map around and look. Jocelyn, turn your map over, please. Okay, Jocelyn, first question is to you. You may turn your map over. Starting in St. Louis, Missouri, if you travel on I-70 West, you will enter another large metropolitan area before crossing into which neighboring state?
Answer, please. You need an answer, Justin.
Alabama.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Kansas.
Liam. Jocelyn, please turn yours over. Liam, starting in Seattle, Washington, if you travel on I-90 East, you will reach the panhandle of what state?
South Dakota.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Idaho.
Evan, let me turn your paper over. Starting in San Antonio, Texas, if you travel on I-10 East, you will cross into what state before reaching The Atchafalaya Basin.
New Mexico.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Louisiana.
Cecilia. Starting in Syracuse, New York, if you travel on I-81 South, you will first enter what state and a historically important coal mining region?
Pennsylvania.
Correct.
Jack. Starting in Birmingham, Alabama, if you travel on I-20 East, you will cross into what state that was the southernmost of the 13 original colonies?
Georgia.
Correct.
Gunner. Jack, if you could please turn yours over. Starting in San Francisco, California, if you travel on I-80 East, you will enter the Great Basin just before crossing into what state?
Nevada.
Correct.
Nick. Starting in Minneapolis, Minnesota, if you travel on I-35 South, you will likely see rows of corn and soybeans as you first enter what state?
Iowa.
Correct.
Okay, can we please collect the maps? Scorekeeper, are there any announcements to be made?
After this phase, we have 3 people that will be leaving us, Jocelyn, Liam, and Evan. Thank you very much. Take your name tag. And then there were 4.
Okay. Once again, each of you will respond to the next question by writing your answers on the whiteboard provided for you. When I call time, put down your markers and hold up your answers. As before, we will wait to give the correct answer until all the answers have been given. I will read this question twice, so you may not ask for another repeat. El Yunque National Forest is the only tropical rainforest in the U.S. National Forest System. This rainforest is on which U.S.-controlled island in the Greater Antilles? El Yunque National Forest is the only tropical rainforest in the U.S. National Forest System. This rainforest is on which U.S.-controlled island in the Greater Antilles?
5 seconds. Time.
Please put your markers down. Please hold your boards up. Cecilia, could you please read your answer?
Puerto Rico.
Jack?
Puerto Rico.
Gunner?
Guam.
The Virgin Islands.
We will pause for a moment while the scorekeeper records the scores.
The correct answer is Puerto Rico. So we are down to 4 people who have each missed 1 question apiece. Everybody's even.
Okay. The remaining final round questions will require oral answers. Each of you will answer a different question. You will have 15 seconds to answer the question. Cecilia, you will be first. Antietam National Battlefield, site of a major Civil War battle, is located near the Potomac River in which mid-Atlantic state?
Maryland is correct.
Jack. The St. Croix River defines part of Wisconsin's border with which other state?
Michigan.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Minnesota.
Gunner. The Bighorn Mountains stretch from central Wyoming north into what neighboring state?
Montana.
Correct.
Nick. The Gila River flows west from New Mexico across which state before joining the Colorado River?
Arizona.
Correct.
We consider that a round? Is that a round? Okay, let's pause for the judges.
Okay, this round we are down to 3. Thank you, Jack.
Okay, we'll continue on. Cecilia? Cherry production is an important economic activity near Grand Traverse Bay on the Lower Peninsula in which state?
Cecilia, we need an answer.
Virginia.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Michigan.
Gunner. A large lake called the Salton Sea is located near the Imperial Valley in what state?
Can you repeat the question, please?
A large lake called the Salton Sea is located near the Imperial Valley in what state?
Utah.
That is incorrect. California is the correct answer.
Nick. A gold rush in the early 1900s temporarily made Fairbanks the largest city in which state?
Oregon.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Alaska.
Moving on. We'll go back to the beginning then. Back around we go. Cecilia. The Pearl River forms part of the border between Louisiana and what other state?
Arkansas.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Mississippi.
Gunner. The Strait of Juan de Fuca separates Vancouver Island from which U.S. state?
Washington State.
Correct.
Nick. The Midwest Museum of American Art is located just west of the city of South Bend, near the confluence of the St. Joseph and Elkhart Rivers in what state?
Utah.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is Indiana. And I think we have ourselves a winner.
We do. Okay.
Gunner Maine is our winner.
Very good, Gunner. And congrats to the other competitors. Do we determine, are there any more questions that are asked? Okay. Okay. Yep. So. This concludes the 2017 National GOB. Great job to all participants, and congratulations to Gunner. Very good work. Thank you.